Hi everybody, welcome back. Hope you're all keeping well. Now, last week before my live stream, I was running a couple of trains, check everything was working, and I discovered some problems with my points. So let's go and have a look at the layout, see what the problem I've got, and see how I'm going to fix it. So here we have 2 points. Okay, I've got my little circuit tester here, track tester. And if we put it on there, we can see it lights up, so the frog is live. The wing rails here, they're live, they're lighting up. But on this point over here, yes, they light up, the frog is working, but the wing rails are not. So this means that this section from here to here, so about a 3-4 centimetre section, is dead. So anything going over it, if it doesn't have a stay alive in it or all wheel pickup, will stop. So this is the problem I was having on my live stream, is that locos were stopping there, so I just ran locos with a stay alive to get over that. So why is this happening? Well, if you look at points, there's one here I've got wired up. So the frog is electrified, and there is some internal wiring in here that connects the frog to these wing rails. And I can demonstrate that now by using a multimeter. So I've got my multimeter, I've set it up for measuring resistance. I've put it on the settings, so if I put them together, it gives out an audible alarm. So I can use this now to test the continuity of circuits. So if I take one probe, put it on the frog, and then putting it on the wing rail here, you can hear that's working. Now if I put it on the broken point, so we've got the frog, put it on the wing rail, nothing. On the other wing rail, nothing. So that tells me that something's happened inside this point. The wire is broken between it, the connection's unsoldered or something like that. Now what's your options? Your options are take out the point, throw it away, put in a new point. But the point is working fine, other than the wing rails here not electrified. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to put a dropper going from the frog to these wing rails here to electrify them. Now to do that, you need to make sure you put the dropper on the side of the rail that isn't going to have wheels on it, so it doesn't cause any derailments. I'm going to try and do it as neatly as possible, and then when I come to ballast this, I can hide any wire and paint over a little bit of solder to make it less visible. So I'm going to take out this whole unit now, put it over on the workbench so I can work on it, and we'll see how we do that. Also just note, when I'm using this, track power is off. So I've taken this section out now of the layout so I can work on it. I've got it sitting on a workbench here. This is the wing rail here that we need to sort out. So we need to make sure that we drill a hole either side so it's not going to foul any wheels that go over. So if you're not sure, just get a little wagon, put it on the track, and just put it over and just see. Now with the wing rail, the wheels go either side of the centre, whether it's coming from this way or that way. So we're going to drill a hole either side here. Now, when I put the tester on this, both wing rails weren't connected. You can hear the buzzer going off there. So I need to put a wire on each of them. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to drill a little hole either side, get some wire and solder onto the rails on the outside, and then connect those wires to the frog wire. And that means whatever priority is in this frog will be in these as well, because there's a cut down here, so they're separated from the rest of the rails, which are connected directly to the DCC bus. So we're just going to make this section here all completely live. So I'm going to go drill the holes, put a wire through, and then I'll show you just doing the soldering. So here we are, I've drilled a couple of holes either side. I've put in some green wire there, pushed that through to connect to the frog. First thing I'm going to do is a little brass brush. So I'm just going to clean the side of the rails where I'm going to do the soldering. It just roughens it up a little bit, cleans anything off so you get a good electrical connection. And the first thing we're going to do is soldered iron's been on, it's nice and hot. We're going to tin the end the wire like so. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a little blob of solder on the rail. Clean off the solder iron. I'm going to get this and bend it at 90 degrees, like so. And put that down. Now this is one of these jobs where you need about 3 pairs of hands. It's not quite bent right. This is always a favourite part on my live streams, which I do every Thursday at 7:30. My subscribers like to watch me do this to see if I'm going to burn my fingers while soldering and if I'll swear live on air. If I do it on this video, I can beep it out. And we just, a little bit of heat. Already got solder there. There you go. That's it soldered onto the side of the rail. Just give it a little tug once it's cooled down to make sure it's secure. And that's it. I'll repeat the process on this side. Then I'll flip the board over, connect to the frog, and then we can test it. Here we have the underside of the board, and if you can make your way through this rat's nest of wires, which I need to tidy up, here we have the 2 dropper wires that I've soldered onto the wing rails coming out from there. And they're coming out, they're going into this connection here. So we have another wire going off. That's from the frog, and going here, and then that connection is going to the switch on the seat point motor. So that will make sure they're all the same priority when I throw the switch. You can see here I'm using the DCC Concepts controllers. These are the solenoid controllers, so I can control the solenoid motors with the DCC system. I have done a video on that previously. I'll link it down below so you can see what that's all about. Okay, we finished all the soldering now. So these droppers are soldered onto the wing rails here. They're connected to the frog wire here, which in turn is connected to the switch on the point motor that I use for changing the priority depending on which way the switch is thrown. So now let's test it, make sure it's working. So first off, we're going to do a continuity test using the multimeter. So I've got this set in resistance, and you should be able to hear the buzzer there. That shows the circuit's complete. So we're going to put it on one wing rail, and on the other, you can see the 2 rails are connected. And when we put it on the frog, we can hear that they're all connected. So that means now whatever priority is sent to the frog is also on these wing rails that enable the trains to run through. And we'll move the altimeter out of the way, and we'll switch on the track power. And we can see at the moment the point is set straight on. So if I put this around here, this is the old track tester. You can see it's lit up. Now if I go accessory 1.4, enter, and we'll throw the point, you can see it's gone off. And it's lit up because now it's going out that road. And if we check on the wing rails, we can see they're working, but not in that direction. So if we throw it back again, they're working that way and there. So this section is all live again, and it's not causing any shorts. So there we are, we fixed the problem. As you can see, I've got the board back in place. This is the point here. I'm just about to have a train come through to test it. This is my Bachmann Class 57 in direct rail livery. There's no stay alive or anything in that, so if there was any problem with the rail, it would have stuttered or stopped. And you can see it's gone through there quite successfully. So all the soldering's done, it's out of the way of the flanges, it's not causing any derailments. And it's live and working. And take note of the 3-way point in the background. Make sure you hit subscribe, because that's going to be next week's video, fitting a 3-way point. And we'll just let this Class 43 come through on the other point. And here comes that 57 again, back through. No problem at all. So I'm going to notch that up to a success. That's back working. So there we go, guys. I hope you found that useful, how to fix a dead wing rail on your point. As I say, hit the subscribe button for me, please, because next week's video will be on fitting the 3-way point. So if you don't want to miss that, hit subscribe. Big thank you to my channel members and patrons whose names are scrolling down here. And if you got any questions or comments, put them down below. And if you give me a thumbs up, that'd be great too. I'll pop another couple of videos on here, and the old subscribe button in the middle. And as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.